For most of the 40 years I've been making historical documentaries, I have been haunted and inspired by a handful of sentences from an extraordinary speech I came across early in my professional life. In January of 1838, shortly before his 29th birthday, a tall, thin lawyer, prone to bouts of debilitating depression, addressed the Young Men's Lyceum in Springfield, Illinois. The topic that day was national security. At what point shall we expect the approach of danger, he asked his audience. Shall we expect some transatlantic military giant to step the earth and crush us at a blow? Then he answered his own question. Never. All the armies of Europe, Asia, and Africa could not by force take a drink from the Ohio River or make a track on the Blue Ridge in the trial of 1,000 years. If destruction be our lot, we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we must live through all time or die by suicide. It is a stunning, remarkable statement. That young man was, of course, Abraham Lincoln, and he would go on to preside over the closest this country has ever come to near national suicide, our Civil War, fought over the meaning of freedom in America. And yet embedded in his extraordinary, disturbing, and prescient words is a fundamental optimism that implicitly acknowledges the geographical force field, two mighty oceans, and two relatively benign neighbors, north and south, have provided for us since the British burned the White House in the War of 1812. We have counted on Abraham Lincoln for more than a century and a half to get it right, when the undertow in the tide of those human events has threatened to overwhelm and capsize us. We always come back to him for the kind of sustaining vision of why we Americans still agree to cohere, why unlike any other country on earth, we are still stitched together by words, and most important, their dangerous progeny, ideas. We return to him for a sense of unity, conscience, and national purpose. To escape what the late historian Arthur Schlesinger Jr. said is our problem today: too much pluribus, not enough unum. It seems to me that Lincoln gave our fragile experiment a conscious shock that enabled it to outgrow the monumental hypocrisy of slavery inherited at our founding, and permitted us all, slave owner as well as slave, to have literally, as he put it at Gettysburg, a new birth of freedom. Lincoln's Springfield speech also suggests what is so great and so good about the people who inhabit this lucky and exquisite country of ours. Our work ethic, our restlessness, our innovation and improvisation, our communities and our institutions of higher learning, our suspicion of power, the fact that we seem resolutely dedicated to parsing the meaning between individual and collective freedom, that we are dedicated to understanding what Thomas Jefferson really meant when he wrote that inscrutable phrase, the pursuit of happiness.